And finally, from these very projects, local legend Ashy Larry. Why do they call him Ashy Larry? Well, there's your answer.
Ashy Larry, Marcy Projects. Marcy, son, what?
Hygiene amongst the Black community is a huge deal. There are 3 things that you absolutely cannot be under any circumstances. Number 1, you cannot be dirty. Number 2, you can't be musty. And number 3, you most certainly cannot be ashy. Dry skin across the diaspora is hugely frowned upon. And like most things, can absolutely be traced back to the fundamental racist principles that have shaped today's society. If you ever wondered why Black people moisturize with such devotion, nobody asked me but, them chickens is ash. And I'm Lotion.
Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? Love, good.
Welcome back to another episode of Nobody Asked Me But. Thank you for your patience. I'm your host, Somethin'Els, and I have to say I have a very, very, very specific relationship to hygiene in general, but when it comes specifically down to the act of moisturizing my skin. So coming up, my grandmother was a beautician, and she did not believe in people leaving the house without looking their absolute best from head to toe. And we're talking about hair done, for her, hair done, makeup done, nails painted. She didn't have pierced ears, but she would keep a clip-on earring if need be, and never ashy. I don't think I've ever seen my grandmother ever have dry skin. Not around the knuckles, nothing. And when it came to TS&I, especially, even if it meant we were just going to the grocery store. Put some lotion on your lips, put something on your face, oil up. Because for her, and I think for a lot of our grandparents and a lot of our upbringing, it's very much about looking your best. Something I've noticed in the Black community in general is we are very serious about how we present to the world, albeit fashion, albeit intelligent, albeit capable. And I think when it comes to the outer appearance, it's a very serious thing for us, considering the fact that, we have a lot of things stacked up against us, and we always have. And so this conversation started because I frantically ran out of lotion one day and my hands were dry. And then it dawned on me that that's an experience that a lot of my friends and myself have, where it's like something terrible has happened. We don't have any lotion. We have to go to the store and get lotion. It's an immediate necessity. I need it right this second because I can't walk around with dry hands. Not to mention the fact that we're in the dead of winter. It's freezing cold outside. And, part of our everyday experience is making sure that we don't have dry skin in a cold climate. Not to mention, there had been over the summer and a little bit into the fall, outpourings of white people left, right, and center talking about they only shower certain things or they don't shower at all, or, they just kind of wash the quote unquote important parts and leaving it at that. And what's interesting about that is that not everybody has that privilege, to just shower when you want to. There are people who don't have hot water and don't have the ability to, just not particularly use a bath or a shower if it's available to them. So this conversation is really much more about specifically dryness, but it stems from a lot of our culture. It goes back to, and I mean, if you've tuned into the show before, I've said this 1,000 times, but like so many things, it absolutely goes back to slavery. There was a time where when the idea of soap was supposedly supposed to be the idea of just of clean yourself so well to the point that you would be white. And that kind of rhetoric for 100, 150, 400 years can absolutely have some sort of conditioning to think that you are, that black people are essentially not clean and they are not hygienic and therefore don't deserve the nice things that life has to offer, and essentially should not be seen as people, should only be seen as less than. And so I know from my own experiences that every black household I come from, and when I say that, I mean like friends' houses I've been to, aunts' houses, friends, friends and their parents and their families, and relationships I've had. A clean house, right, is a sign of thankfulness and gratefulness, because they always tell you that cleanliness is next to godliness, right? So that's the first thing. You're thankful for all the things that you've gotten, and because of that, you have to keep it clean. You have to keep it nice. And then even past that, we're talking about, everyone looks good. If you look good, then you feel good. And those are kind of the fundamental principles that you're built up with, because I think a lot of where black people's presentation comes from is survival. If we don't look harmful, if we look like we are coming from something, then maybe we won't get judged. Then maybe we won't be cornered. Maybe we can survive another day if we can just look, a certain way and be that kind of presentation. Maybe, just maybe, we won't have to experience the terrors that we're experiencing, which we all know is a great thought in theory, but not necessarily and a reality in a lot of rights, right? So perfectly understandable, but that's kind of where the idea stems from. Now, I also think that the black community in general, before we even get to the details of Ashiness, we always want to be able to control our image. We want to be in control of our detail and how, and again, as I was saying before, is how we present. So all of our fashions, all of our jewelry, all of our hair, all of everything has to be to our liking, so that not only can we be seen as something that's someone of importance, but we can feel important about ourselves and feel good about ourselves, which is what I was saying before about if you look good, then you'll feel good. And it took a while for us to kind of get to a space where we kind of owned our own image. Of course, it has started from years ago. We're talking about the Madam C.J. Walkers, and I learned today about a black dermatologist, Dr. Lawless, who studied black dermatology and black skin and kind of revolutionized it. And so it's not to say that it's never happened. It's something that's been a part of our culture and a part of our being for a very long time. But even now, if we're looking at statistically, fast forward, and I'm getting this from Essence Magazine, and I'm reading it directly off, it says African Americans spend $1.2 trillion a year. And that number is projected to rise to $1.5 trillion by 2021. That's obviously last year. And in 2018, the black hair care industry ranked in an estimated $2.51 billion as black consumers have progressively made the switch from general products to those that specifically cater to them. And the reason for that, and we'll have our guest on a little bit later on today, and she'll explain more of her story, but the reason for that is because the lotion and the hair products and the beauty products and our shower experiences have to be curated specifically to us. Corporations have absolutely caught on to the fact that the Black community most certainly cares about how they look and how they appear. And instead of being racially inclusive and racially open-minded to the types of things that we need, they, of course, capitalize off of it. And it might, some of those products are not great for us. I was reading in one of these articles as I was doing my research that there was a bleaching cream that a white woman had made during the Civil War era. And she would say, oh, yeah, you can even put it in your eyes because it's safe to use in your eyes. And then next thing you know, Black women are blind because they're like, oh, I can put, if it gets in my eyes, it's okay. And so that's also been, once we realize there's something that's for us, very often an outside source can see it and they see it as an opportunity for money as opposed to an opportunity to learn about how other cultures do things. And that's just kind of the way our society is built, but I digress. It says here, in 2017, African Americans captured 86% of the ethnic beauty market, accounting for $54 million of the $63 million spent, Nielsen reported. In 2017, we also spent $127 million on grooming aids and $465 million on skincare. And the reason for that is obvious. Black people love our skin. The first part in us wanting to get to good presentation-wise showing up is our skin. Now, of course, some of us have challenges with our skin, albeit like acne or eczema, or any other kind of skin condition. But even past that, that's all the more reason for us to want to take care of it. That's all the more reason why it's important for us. When I'm done washing my hands, I got to put lotion on. Otherwise, my hands will be cracked all day long. I almost can't focus if my hands feel ashy and dry. They just feel itchy and they literally feel like they're cracking. Like it just feels like uncomfortable for me. And I'll get out of the shower and I was reading another article and they were talking about how their white roommate got out of the shower and she airs dries. She doesn't pat dry, but then when she airs dries, she's done. She goes to put her clothes on and goes about her day. And it's like, I've air dried before, but immediately after that comes a baby oil, a lotion, something to lock in the moisture that keeps my skin thriving. I remember specifically being a third grader, and I came in on a Tuesday, and it's like towards the summer months, right? So it's around the time that people are starting to wear shorts and people are starting to be, show their legs and stuff. And I remember one of my friends would scream across the playground, "Ashy legs!" And I was mortified because it's like, oh, no. I cannot be ashy. Anything but this. So I remember the next day I had my mom like, somebody called me ashy. I can't handle it. And she said, what? I said, somebody called me ashy and we are in the middle of the summer. I'm going to wear this dress tomorrow. I can't be ashy, mommy. Like, I need lotion. And I remember we doubled up and I sweat. But that's okay. I had to literally just put, because I can't handle, there are pictures of me where it's like, it's such a cute baby picture. I look so cute, but I'm in the house, just kind of in the house by myself. And I remember I posted it on Instagram and all you see is these ashy knees. And the comments underneath are like, ooh, get them knees, girl. Get them elbows. And it sounds rude, right? It sounds like people are coming at you. And it sounds like, it sounds like they're judging you because for whatever reason you didn't have lotion in that moment. But really, that's one of the few times where I take that to mean, hey, you don't want to be ashy out here. They already think that we don't wash, even though we taught them how to wash. Another conversation for another day. But they will act like you can't wash. They'll act like you don't smell good. They'll act like you don't wash your hands. They'll act like you don't have access to it. And you can't have that. Anything that can prevent furthering any kind of weird stereotype, the better. And in a lot of ways, lotion was that protective barrier. It sounds ridiculous, but it's not. I was reading another article. Listen, family, I did a lot of research behind this because it boggles my mind in such a fun way, right? How many times have you asked, hey, do you have lotion? You've asked if you've had lotion the same times, if not more, if you've asked for gum, because gum is right up there with good hygiene. Smelly breath is off-putting and it is unsettling, and thankful for masks because now you guys can finally smell how awful your breath smells talking to the rest of us. But I digress. Those are things that you are going through your day and you might slip up. You're going through your day and you might not have been thinking about it. It might not have been the first thing on your radar. Oh, but best believe if I'm out, I'm going to buy me some lotion. I'm going to figure it out. And I read this article. It was actually printed in Vogue just this past March. And it's written by Andrea Plaid. Or did I say Plaid? Lord, LC. Plaid. Plaid. Sorry. And she writes an entire, and I'll leave the link of this, and I'll leave the link of the Essence statistics in the bio. And she talks about one time she was outside at the mall and she needed lotion. And so she, of course, figured like, oh, this is easy. I can just go in my bag, pull up my little tiny lotion, put it on really quick, and we're done. And she's just like, it wasn't in there. And so now she's concerned because my hands are ashy. Everything's like nuts. And now all of a sudden you have a split second where your world is crashing. And maybe this isn't the case for everybody. Maybe it's not a case where you very quickly glance down at your hands and you're like, oh my God, my knuckles, they look like they've been beaten bricks, rolling in flour. And when you hear that a lot, there are colloquial, familial phrases that people will say to you that remind you like, find some lotion. And she writes specifically about how, you got to be, you have to find a safe haven. And luckily, she found a woman that was standing across from her and just kind of very quickly and quietly said, hey, do you have lotion? And it was a nice, easy, like, oh, of course. And that's one of the ways of which we can help each other. It's one of the ways in which that we can see each other and help each other out. And, you don't have to be friends. You don't have to be people who, I know it's just like, I'm so sorry. Do you have lotion? Because that question in and of itself is I'm looking out for you. You're looking out for me, So she writes this piece about what that means and how that came up for her. And I just found it really, really interesting. And I'm just going to read these two things where she says, ashiness at its core colloquially means dry skin, which along with having red blood is a trait of most humanity, and they share that at some point or another. But on skin tones that are darker than the phenotypically pale-skinned white person, the higher contrast of a grayish white patch in the surrounding area makes the condition more visible. And she continues, however, in that alchemy of Black social struggle, Black personal grooming, and Black linguistic cool, it is metastasized from the dermatological, to the cultural and political. Ashiness signifies not only a dry epidermis, but also a careless lack of self-upkeep and communal neglect. Now, I know that sounds deep because, again, maybe you're running around and maybe it just so happened or whatever the case is. You know, not everybody has the ability to just go out and get lotion or whatever. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about there is a cultural understanding that dry skin can happen. There's a cultural understanding that, I'm about to go into this interview and they're going to see these knuckles. And maybe they don't care about them. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I can't have them see me with this because it's immediately going to perpetuate, some sort of thought. And I'm immediately going to be thinking that I'm less than. So it sounds like we're doing it for other people, but we're not. It's for ourselves. It's for our basic survival and, our own understandings. And then if you think about it, if you go back into like pop culture, Ashy Larry, when he comes on television, it's like he literally an exaggeration. Like they doused him in like baby powder. And like he's not just ashy because he didn't have any lotion. He's ashy because he's also sorry. That dryness, that they make it into like a funny thing where it's like, oh, you acting ashy. You acting sorry and ashy. I said they, I mean we. Take your little ashy ass out of here. Get you some cocoa butter or some shea butter. You've heard that before. You've understood that before. You know what I'm saying? You've absolutely seen somebody get up on television. You've seen somebody, they pick somebody randomly off the street who hasn't had an opportunity to get to their morning routine, who needs a little lip chat. You've heard your mother or your grandmother or hell, even your uncle say, oh, you got to get in the crust, just crusty, just nasty. Get in there and clean it out. Smoothness, softness. There's a bounce that comes back to your skin. And it is in my opinion, for Black people, it is almost religious. It's almost, we can't do nothing. I can't start my day. I can't move on with my day if I have not properly moisturized my entire body. We're talking about feet and, the crack. And it's just because there's a discomfort. You ever, maybe not deeply moisturized, like you put enough lotion on your feet, but you didn't even go to the pedicure and let them scrub it down the way they should with the buffer, and then you ain't put on the proper lotion, and it's just been a couple of days, you just been a couple of days walking around and you got that crust on your foot. Let me tell you something. In this 30 below will absolutely cut your leg and you will bleed. Okay? Shaking somebody's hand in a business meeting, they can see all that. Oh, I remember one time Oh, my goodness. Now, in college, I was a reckless person, right? And I remember a friend of mine, I came out of the house looking crazy that day, more than likely because I was hungover. Because anyone that went to Johnson & Wales in general, but specifically Johnson & Wales, Rhode Island, or Johnson & Wales, North Miami, which deserves an episode by itself. Shout out to Johnson & Wales, North Miami. I think I heard something about how they're closing that campus, which is very dear and near to my heart. But lots of great experiences there. But if you're any of those places, you were partying very religiously. So it's very possible that you got up the next day and kind of rolled out of bed to go to whatever class or whatever meeting or whatever the hell it is you had to go to the next day. And this particular time, I was in Rhode Island because I went to both. I was in Rhode Island for freshman and sophomore year and then transferred to Miami for junior and senior year. And I remember I was walking down our main like hang spot is Gaby Commons, which is like where the two biggest dorms are. And people just like come there and chill. And that's where a lot of orientation is. But I was walking down the street towards Gaby Commons. And I see one of my friends. Her name is Miriam. Shout out to Miriam. Miriam sees me. And she literally stops traffic and walks across the street. And Miriam is such a cute girl, really tall, really, really tall, and just a fun, exciting, hilarious presence. Oh, but she saw me and I just looked raggedy that day. And she said, absolutely, stopped traffic and came down and she said, are you crazy? What's going on? What is wrong? And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, you don't come out the house like this. You never come out the house like this. And you know better. I'm yelling at you because you know better. And she picked up my hands and she said, sis, not even lotion for your hands? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I remember I was just laughing and cracking up because it was like, yeah, I look really bad today. And I understand how that can come off. You know, I understand that there are boundaries and I understand that there are, prying on or kind of insisting upon or intruding upon someone's image is not ideal and it's not what people should do. And you have no idea what kinds of things people are going through. But I laughed because she was right. When Black people say you don't need to look like what you're going through, that is a real thing. That is a very, very real thing because we're not talking about just, the sake of putting on clothes for the sake of we are talking about survival. And everything. That pressure is a lot, but we're talking about survival. We're talking about doing the best that you can with what you got. Doing the best you can with what you got. And that means sometimes putting on a little lotion. So in a couple minutes, we are going to have our guest on. And she's going to tell us her story. Her name is Sybil Smith, and she has started her own lotion company. She started her own business, Shy Bella Body. I always call it Shay, but it's Shy Bella Body. And she does bath bombs, body butter, soaps, and she essentially started her own self-care beauty line. And we're going to have her on, and she's going to talk to us about her origins and why she made it and how we got here and how she's turning it every day into a bigger and bigger brand. So keep it locked, and we'll be right back.
Okay, Larry gets first roll. Let's see how he does.
That man is dried and Kunta Kinte's ankle.
Welcome back, and we have our very special guest, the incomparable Sybil Smith is here.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Me.
Thank you for coming. Sybil's a very busy woman, ladies and gentlemen, so we're very happy that she's come by and talked with us. And so I was talking about how lotion is such a big deal, and I was reading this article, and this lady was talking about how she literally felt the cracks of her skin open, and she was like, "Fuck, I need lotion," and didn't have any in her bag. And she went to another black lady, and she said, "I'm so sorry to interrupt. Do you have lotion?" And she was like, "Absolutely." And it was just that kind of like unspoken word. It's like, I can't have you out here being ashy. And so, tell us, what is your lotion? What's your lotion ritual? What's your moisturizing ritual? Tell us about, what is your relationship like with just like moisturizer in general?
Oh, so moisturizer is my life. I am moisturizer. Moisturizer is me.
What? I am moisturizer, and moisturizer is me.
Yes.
We are two in the same.
We are one.
Okay.
But for the most part, now my ritual is Shy Bella Body. Shy Bella Body collection.
Okay, so no time wasted. Jump right in. So tell us about Shy Bella Body.
Yes.
I mess it up every time, America. I've been calling it Shea Bella
Everyone
Beauty.
calls it Shay.
I've been calling it Shea Bella Beauty.
Yes.
I've been calling it Shea Beauty Bella. It is Shy Bella Body Collection. All right, tell us. So what is that exactly, and tell us like how you got started.
Okay, so Shy Bella Body Collection is an all-natural skincare line. We have several of beauty products that are handmade, made with the best all-natural ingredients, like vitamin E oil, sweet almond oil, coconut oil, all-natural shea butter, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
All the stuff to feed and hydrate our skin.
Okay. And you say it like it's all the stuff to feed and hydrate. I say, you Miss Linda Smooth Jazz.
It turned into a lifestyle for me.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely a lifestyle.
When you say that, so like what you say that turned into a lifestyle, so that means it's like just the same way you said that, hi, I'm moisturizer is me, and it turns into that. So a lifestyle means that it's literally part of your every single moving part of your day. Great. Tell us about that. What does that mean?
So first off, the reason why Shy Bella Body Collection is here, I decided to make my own because I've been battling an underlying illness for over a decade. And when you battle something like that, it tends to attack you in different ways. So it started to attack me on my skin.
Really?
Yes.
And so
what topical,
what was it that was happening to your skin?
I started to suffer from eczema.
Oh, boy.
And anyone who knows, eczema is inflammation in your skin.
Oh.
And the illness that I suffer from is really based on high inflammation in the body. So once it started to affect my skin, it was like, oh, no. I got to figure this out because I've always had great skin. She's
not lying. Sybil is like this beautiful chocolate rich skin it's true. No, it's true. But then not only that, like Sybil was in the winter when we were in high school and middle school together, she kept something. It wasn't always, but we always had like a Blistex. Someone has like so your lips are moisturized. Someone has a little something of hand cream or whatever. And Sybil, I think your lotion is the Palmer's coconut butter.
That was, yes, my go-to.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
And it's like it's warm and it covers and it's like...
And, it was a different texture that I could relate to.
The Palmer's coconut butter had in my opinion, one of the best texture lotion cream because it was heavy enough.
Yes.
But then it was silky enough so that it could kind of get, that was, they knew what they were doing with that.
Yeah. So it all started with me having my eczema flares and they were painful. It wasn't just dry skin or patches. Like it started on my hands to the point where it hurt to bend your knuckles. It was just painful. It's inflammation in the skin. And a lot of people who suffer from eczema know exactly what I'm talking about. It can be very painful. And you can get to the point where you don't know where to turn for help.
Yeah.
You go to the doctor and they want to prescribe you a steroid. They're really quick to give you that medication aspect of it all to not cure it, but tame it. But you have to be careful with what you put on your skin because it is filtered into your system.
Of course.
It goes into your bloodstream.
Of course. And it's like, instead of just trying to fill me up with all these things that'll offset all these other issues, let's get to the bottom of it. And I think that of course causes for a larger conversation about healthcare and blacks in general. But that's we'll come back for that episode.
But when they started to try to tell me to use the steroid cream, the cortisone, and all that stuff, I have to be careful with what I put into my body because of my illness. So, what I put on my skin is also a factor for me. So I'm very aware of how I eat, what I drink, so what I put on my skin became very important because I had to tame this issue. I couldn't let it control me or get out of hand. Especially with me not having those skin issues growing up, barely suffering from pimples and stuff. I really didn't have that issue.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I guess, life takes hold of you and
of course
things happen, but you just have to find what's best for you. So I was doing my research and I figured out that all natural would probably be the best route for me. Honestly, it's the best route for everyone.
It is. Now, when you say all natural, are we talking organic or are we talking all natural?
Well, organic is just a piece of all natural. A lot of people think that the word organic means everything, like it's all natural, this, all natural. No, it's just something that is organic, grown differently, treated differently. But there are other natural things in this world that aren't organic. So there's some, ingredients that I use in my products that are labeled organic. But for the most part, I focus on ingredients that are basically like plants. Plant-based.
Plant-based.
Like aloe vera oil.
Excellent.
Vitamin E, stuff like that. Like just the natural things that you can physically eat. And then also put on your skin.
Great.
So a lot of my ingredients in my body butters, and now I wouldn't say eat them, guys. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
They do smell very well.
Now, let me, if I could.
They're not edible.
Now I have quite a few of Shy Bella Beauty at the house. Nope.
She messed it up again.
I messed it up again. I do it every time.
Shy Bella
Body, yada yada bada. Shy Bella. Okay. I got a lot of them creams at the house. And let me tell you, I wouldn't eat them, but it will cause you to get eaten. Okay? Okay? Put them on when the moon is right, and you will smell like an SNACK snack. Okay? And that thing lasts forever. It's just all day long. And then with that, it's like, how do we get to the fragrances? So, they also smell really rich and full. And sometimes that, when you put on, certain moisturizers, it dims. You'll put it on and it's it doesn't kind of last for the day. Your stuff lasts forever.
So, when I, decided to go my route of starting this business, I started off with straight body butter. So, I was in the lab. I call my kitchen the lab.
Oh, yes.
And I was just experimenting with ingredients. Because, everyone's skin is different.
Yeah.
And I tell my clients a lot, just because it works for me or it works for the next person doesn't mean it's will work for you.
Yeah.
Your skin has a pH balance that once you throw it off, you know, people suffer from acne, hormonal acne. Like, there's so many different factors in skincare that, you know, a lot of people don't consider. And you just have to try things, and if it doesn't work for you, go to the next thing. It's just like someone with, like, hair products. You try what's right for you, and if it doesn't work, if it makes your hair brittle, fall out, whatever, you go to the next product.
And I am a good for try this, take this back, turn it around, yeah. And, like, I think that's a lot of the trial and error in making anything, obviously. It's like, what works here? What doesn't work here? This makes my skin feel luminous. This makes my skin feel itchy. And
right.
So,
it all depends. So when I decided to go into the fragrances, I wanted premium, high-quality products because I am using all natural ingredients, so I need the fragrance to be premium.
Hello.
So it's very important.
Very important.
And I'm more focused on, I wanted my company to be focused on aromatherapy.
Oh.
So it's more of a therapeutic type of thing. Like what you put on your skin should make you feel good.
No, I didn't
along
know that,
with
Sybil.
hydrating you. Yeah.
Oh.
So it is like aromatherapy. That's why I have so many fragrances.
That's a layer that I didn't know before. That explains a lot. Because there are so many of those lotions that you'll put on after like a nice shower. And it feels so good. But it's like, it never dawned on me that it's like the aromatherapy is like sense-based. So it's like, you would want to put on a lavender lotion at the end of bedtime.
Yes.
Which, I mean, people, that's like not unheard of. Like people put lavender oil, essential oil in the bathtub. They'll, you know, spray it on their sheets, light a candle, right? Because that's what helps. But the fact that you put on that you physically have to moisturize yourself in it, it'll not only trigger your senses into like relaxation, but then your skin will literally say, ooh, yes, wow.
And honestly, the lavender body butter is phenomenal. It is. Like, that's one of my favorites at night. Yeah. Is the lavender. But I have so many great fragrances to the point where I had to say, listen, calm it down. Oh. Because the demand of it gets a little out of hand, and it's just me.
Let me tell you something. The Plugs Crush. If I could have, I would get every fucking thing. Get me the soap. Get me the body butter. Get me the bath bomb. Get me the rolly oil. The Plugs Crush smells like money.
And that is a scent that is customized.
It is. Sorry. Ooh.
For TS.
Yes.
TS customized that.
Shout out to TS. Woo! Yeah, that thing is good. That thing is.
So we, played a little dibble, a little dabble in the lab, and we created the Plugs Crush. Now, the name, I had a few names for it. The Plugs Crush was one of them, obviously. But that one, she was like, that's it. Yeah. That one. So,
Because think about it. Now, y'all can't smell it on here, obviously, because you're using your other three senses listening to this podcast. But if I think about who the plug is, right? He's that nigga. He's that nigga that's out here, and he knows all of the everything, which is why he's the plug. And there's a girl that is super fine that he is crushing on, and that's what she smells like. Woo! Money.
Yes. So it's a amazing smell, and
not literal paper, friends. It doesn't smell like the actual dollar. You just smell rich
and it's
and beautiful.
It's unisex, so men and women. So it all depends. It's a unisex scent.
Wonderful. Yes. I think that's nice. I think I have to say, and maybe the men variety or all 10 men that listen to this podcast will be like, I use lotion. But it's like, we're constantly having to be like, please let me oil your hands.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're here for, though.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, to boost them a little bit.
Clifford will walk out of the house and he'll go grab his bass and I'll say, wait a second. We're not out here playing bass with hands that look like they've been dipped in flour.
Please, no.
Please, let's get them knuckles.
Not when you have me.
Not when there's too many ways.
Right. So, Yes, it's based off of aromatherapy, and I always, let my clients know, like, you can customize your own smell. I do have, like, a lot of high-end fragrances, like Gucci, Baccarat. That's one of my new scents that I just released.
I have to smell that.
For Christmas. But that is also a unisex fragrance as well. But I have the Jimmy Choo for men.
Oh.
A lot of things. So I have things for men and women.
Fancy.
And there are men that don't play about their skin.
Yes, there are. Lots of them.
I wish all the men in the world would like that.
I wish all... Oof.
But, it's a level. It's a lifestyle. Like I said, it is a lifestyle. You upkeep yourself.
Yeah. It becomes like a constant.
Yeah.
Because there's also chapsticks that I cannot live without. That they're part of my daily and nightly face regimen routine because it's just a nice soft air. Like, there's something about, for me, preserving black skin obviously means taking care of it. So we're drinking water and paying attention to your morning routine and your nightly routine. And with that, it comes with, I like that feeling of being soft.
Yes.
I like my skin to feel plump and moisturized. And it looks shiny. I love to look at shiny brown skin. Whoa, especially in the summer.
First of all, we are beautiful people. So
every day,
the
all
fact
day.
That our skin glows.
It just looks like glistening.
Yes. You want to glow.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. When we were younger, our mom or our dad would slap that oil on us, and we would be going to school looking like,
what are you doing? Like, you put my face in the grease. And just, especially this time of year. And so we are from North New Jersey, where it is not warm. Mommy told me, which makes sense, that it's actually warmer longer than it is cold. The cold is it hurts so bad that it feels like it's forever. But when I was 5, I'd be like, I'm entirely too bundled and this is way too much oil on my face. But now that I'm an adult, I understand, because when that wind hits...
Oh, yeah, baby. It hurts.
And you ain't got the Vaseline, okay? And next thing you know, you walk into places, crusty, just dry.
Yeah.
And, like, there's, it looks terrible. And I connected back to, Black people are connected. We're in my opinion, we're very connected to how we look because of how we want to present and show up in the world. And, we catch a lot of flack all the time. And of course, people are constantly acting like Black people aren't this and we can't do that. And it's like, no, we taught you guys how to bathe, number one. You guys are out here, like, pooping in the street, not going to the bathroom at all, just, like, waking up. And there's all types of yucky, if you watch those documentaries, there's all types of sex and foreplay and this and sweat. And them outfits are heavy, walking around in metal all day long. You think the underarms ain't musty? You got all that going on. And Black people across the board are like, gross. You got to get in there.
Yeah.
Because that's how diseases spread. Yeah. You got to get in there and clean all that out. And then once you clean out, of course, like anything else, when air hits the water, it dries out. I can't walk around like sandpaper all day. Yes. You know what I mean? And so I just think it's important that, I just think it's something that's relatable. That Sybil has asked absolutely, in between periods. Baby, you have lotion? No. And it's lotion or it's gum. Because gum is part of everything else, part of the other presentations as well. And Sybil also makes incredible hand cream. Incredible hand cream. Not just for your body and your feet, but, like, the hand cream is great when I'm on a go. Mm-hmm. And, again, it's like an instant shine and it lasts a long time.
And you smell good.
I
remember when I first started to wear the fragrances, like the...
You mean like
perfumes?
Like when we were children?
No, like when I started.
This one. Okay, I was like, big ups to Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But I would walk past people and they were like, "You smell so good,
incredible,"
and I'll be like, "Thank you."
Yeah,
And like, what is that? And I'm like, this is my skincare
This is
line.
my stuff.
This
Now,
is me.
you were telling me before we got on that you don't like lotion.
No.
I need you to walk me through it.
I graduated from Lotion.
Oh, excuse me. I graduated from... Okay, tell
my
us.
pinky is up for the lotion.
Can't
Lotion just doesn't do it for me. Now, if you like lotion, I'm not knocking you.
You're
for
not
it.
hey.
But
Whatever
I
gets
don't like
dashed.
the texture of lotion.
Interesting.
It grosses me out.
Wow. Is there any lotion in particular?
No, in lotion in general, I cannot. I will not squirt. I'll be ashy
LOL.
before I wear lotion.
Wow.
I don't like just knowing that it squirts in your hand a certain way. Then when you rub it in, it's like you're rubbing water onto your skin. Your skin gets dry. It's not ashy, but it gets dry. You know, so
It just loses its balance.
I
a
need
little.
that full hydration. I need to be like, yes, my hand is moisturized and shiny and glowing, and
And you know where that's
I
from?
feel it.
Vaseline. That's Vaseline. Because Vaseline was... it's a petroleum jelly. That's the scientific name. But it was as thick as my thigh.
Yes.
And you just slap that thing on, and it has to literally cover and elasticize? I guess that's a word. But, like, that's... The thickness of Vaseline is what would absolutely keep us warm.
And it did. It kept us warm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it did. It was a layer that kept us warm.
Sure is.
You know, and I know some people who still love Vaseline. Cool. But it also can clog your pores.
Because of how heavy it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
So body butter, it's very different than Vaseline. Body butter melts. And it's called butter for a reason.
LOL.
Butter melts.
It's butter.
But literally, when you use the body butter, it's temperamental. So it goes to your body temperature. So that's why it melts on your skin the way it does. It's temperamental. So this is why I say, like, you know, summertime body butter, I still wear it no matter what. It is, you know, a lot of people love it more in the winter because of the cold air. But in the summer, I like to shine too, you know. And it just moisturizes. It hydrates.
Yeah.
Let me say that. It
Yeah.
hydrates my skin to the point where I can literally, like, I live by it. Like, my skin is just, it's different. Like, I can see the difference in my skin from when I didn't have my business to now. And it's because I use my products consistently. It's not just a one-time thing of the day. Like, I'm constantly washing with it. I'm constantly moisturizing with it. And, you know, I even have my facial line moisturizing. It's hydrating. So body butter is, to me, more nourishing than a lotion. A lotion, it's like I said, it's watery. I just don't like the way it feels on me. And you can put it on 5 minutes later, guess what? Ashy again.
And that is how we get into Bath and Body Works. Lead me right into Bath and Body Works. Now, wait. Let's go back. Now, Sybil and I have known each other for 20 years because we went to elementary, middle school, high school, and college together. And in college, we worked at Bath and Body Works, which was such an interesting experience for so many reasons. But I'm sure y'all know what Bath and Body Works is. You get them coupons that'll last you forever. But they had all the fragrances. And when we were teenagers, you could not tell somebody that they didn't smell good behind that cucumber melon.
Couldn't tell me nothing about Love Spell, baby.
Ooh! Okay, so the other thing is... Jesus. Love Spell. Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works are owned by the same people.
Yes.
So if you didn't get your fragrances from Bath and Body Works, you can get them from Victoria's Secret. And it's like, now for me, I get into Love Spell. I was on Victoria's Secret Pink. Like that. Okay, that was my girl. She was my queen. Because it has, I want to smell sexy. I'm a sexy, like, ooh, it's like a sweet sexy. Like, ooh, it's pretty, you know, that kind of idea. A lot of my friends have, like, a real woman scent. Like, it gives you a little spice. It gives you a little something. I was always like I'll take Victoria's Secret, you know, a Brit. I was a Burberry Brit.
You know I have that in body butter.
I know you do. It's one of my favorites.
Actually, let me correct that. It's not Brit. It's her.
Oh, yeah, see? Okay, I have to smell her.
Yeah. But her is real. I know
it's very similar.
The Brit, yes, we live by the Brit.
I lived by the
Brit. I could
Brit.
make that, though.
I know you.
But I have the her.
That was my girl. Like, I very, like, sweet, pretty, sexy. Mm-hmm. That's where my fragrances are. It's like a light,
floating in the wind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, give us a tea about Bath & Body Works, girl.
Oh. First of all, let me just tell you, I cannot walk into those stores.
Oh, wow.
The smells are horrendous.
Really?
I cannot
At this juncture?
I cannot do it.
Wow.
It smells so bad.
Wow.
No, I'm not trying to downplay
No, yeah, no
them.
shade. Please don't sue us,
No
Bath & Body
shade.
Works. This is just an opinion, but wow.
They paved the way. They are legends.
Oh, legends.
They paved the way for Shybella Body.
Madam C.J. Walker's a legend, but Bath & Body Works, you're up there.
No, they paved the way for us. We got it into ourselves with Bath & Body Works, So I just can't go in. It smells so bad.
Oh,
it just... God. The scents are so all over the place, and they're all so strong. And then, with those companies, they use a lot of chemicals and preservatives into their, their lotions and their creams and all their products so that they last longer. But just think about it. Why would you put those on your skin?
Yeah.
So it's just like I look at Dove, right?
Oh, man.
We all live by Dove.
Girl.
Dove was the go-to bar for washing your body.
It was. Which, really quick, 2 years ago, they got into, or maybe 3 years ago, they got into a lot of trouble because their ad was super racist. And then you go back and look at the history of Dove, and they've had, every now and again, they've had these, like, very racist things because soap, which I did all this research day before yesterday, that soap was originally the idea of making as white as possible. And then if we were black and you just were considered dirty, and the idea is like if you just wash it long enough, then you'll be able to be lighter, which is ridiculous. And so by the time we came around, I guess they, of course, had new people come in. But when we were children, Dove, for me, worked the best on my face. And, like, I couldn't do Ivory. I couldn't do...
Oh, no, that's too strong.
Ivory was way too strong. I didn't start getting into, like, the black and colored soaps until way later. But teenage-wise, Dove was my jam. And that's also when they came out with them very thick, very smell-goody shower gels. And so that's...
Yes, so...
That's to your point. Sorry, I just wanted to put that out there because it was like, I remember Dove being my end-all, be-all.
Yes. No, it was everyone's, anyone who washed, I'm sure that they had. So,
anyone who wanted to feel clean.
But if you notice, when you buy a bar of Dove soap, first of all, you can throw it at someone and it's a weapon.
Whoa.
Some things are hard. Okay? When you drop the soap in the shower, it makes a loud noise.
Wow. I feel like I dropped a bar of soap once, or a bar of Dove, and it broke into because it was
hard.
Yeah.
So it lasts long because they put so many different things into them to keep them to last. Now, I make soap as well. I make beauty bars, but it's all natural. My soaps are soft. They're soft for a reason because there are no added preservatives. There are no added chemicals. Everything is literally all natural oils to hydrate and cleanse your body.
And so it's the oils plus what to make it soapy?
I use a really gentle base. A lot of people may be familiar with like Castile soap. So it's like a base where you can use on an infant. Just for that gentle lather, that gentle cleanse. And my soaps literally melt.
Yeah.
Like you have to
I didn't realize. So like what I like to do in my shower regimen is if I have both, I like to get the bar first and then do a shower gel over top. And this last time for Christmas, you got me like the 3 set of bars. And there's one in particular that just smells like... It just smells incredible. And I went to use it, and day 4 or 5, it was like, oh no, it's almost gone. I need this. Like, this is part of my every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, those go quickly, and that's why, because of all the things that you put in it, so that it can be a gentle cleanse as opposed to like putting your body through the fucking car wash.
Right. Not even that. It's just like you want to know what you put on your skin.
I mean,
you want to be able to, you know how people
identify it.
You want to people. You know how people are very healthy and they read the labels like,
course.
if I can't pronounce this, I'm not eating it.
Absolutely.
If you can't pronounce it, don't put it on your body.
Yeah, it seems very.
You don't
simple.
know what it is. And it has 15 letters of the alphabet in there all together. Don't use it.
Don't use it. Who knows what kinds of things it are?
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't know what the underlying issues that can happen.
That can, yeah. So
you
like
know,
if
the
you
long
have
term
right, if you had, it might incite, like you were talking about before with your illness, that like you haven't had eczema this entire time, but because I have this whatever's going on with my body, and now that offsets the eczema, and I go down to Dove and I put this regular, shower gel or whatever, and I'm thinking it's helping because it's lessening, but really maybe it's going in there and mutating with those other cells
and
then
making something worse.
Making
You just
something
don't know.
worse. Yeah, you just don't know.
So when you buy a natural soap, you will know the difference.
Yeah.
A lot of people tend to buy African black soap.
Okay.
African black soap it's cool. Mm-hmm. I don't like it personally. Mm-hmm. Black soap dries my skin out. Mm-hmm. It makes me like itchy, feel a little itchy afterwards. So I use shea butter soap, which is what I create, and that also hydrates. It's all about hydration, guys. Like, and some people think that, oh, I have oily skin, I can't use oils. No, you can.
Just gotta find the right
You just
one.
have to find the right oils, and you have to balance your pH balance in your skin for your oils.
And that's the other thing. You make a good point about hydration, because your ashiness can sometimes be caused by a lack of drinking water.
Mm-hmm. Water is everything.
Yeah, you just need more water.
You have to drink water. Mm-hmm. You have to. You want good skin, healthy hair, healthy body in general. Mm-hmm. You need to consume some amount of water.
Lots of it.
Lots of it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, when it comes to the natural things, you just want to be aware of what the ingredients are.
Of course.
And Google is your best friend. You guys, just research it.
Yeah.
Find out what works for you. Some people are really allergic to certain things. And, I do have some clients that can't have certain ingredients, so I do customize their items.
Which reminds me, my mother-in-law wants the strawberry body butter, but she can't have anything nuts in it. So she can't have the almond stuff.
The sweet almond oil.
Right, but everything else, she's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so basically for that type of situation, I wouldn't put that in there. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to say that it's going to make the blend any worse, but that's just an ingredient that someone can't have.
Can't have.
Some people are allergic to avocados. Mm-hmm. I use avocado oil. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's like you just have to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Absolutely.
But I would say the natural way is to go.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, Shy Bella Body Natural, there are so many companies out here that are natural beasts. And I would just encourage everyone to go that route. Why not? You're investing so much in products. Invest in yourself and your skin.
Yeah.
Take care of your skin.
That's right.
It is the largest organ on your body.
Yeah.
And it is the first thing that people notice.
Yeah. You going out to shake hands with cracked knuckles, or
before you say hello.
Before you say hello. I mean, we all have masks on, but it's like no one wants to see somebody that it has. And I mean, these things happen. People have resources. We get that. But there's take them extra steps to just not be ashy. Don't be ashy.
Yes. Ashy is not classy.
It's just uncomfortable.
Be classy about it.
Ashy is not classy.
It's not classy, guys.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about before. That people will automatically assume that it's what is wrong with you? Where's your lotion at? You ain't got a little, like, let's get you...
A little 1 ounce in the bag.
Yeah, a little, where's your little stuff? Sybil, thank you for coming. This was so nice.
Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. And then tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me. My website is www.shybellabody.com.
Excellent.
Instagram at shybellabody. Once you go on the Instagram, you can see where you can click the links and everything. I'm very available. DM, my number's on there. Text, a call, email.
And then you have in addition to the products, you have like a new service that you started, right?
Yes, I started, which is another aspect of all natural. I started non-invasive body contouring, and it's for men and women.
All right.
A lot of the women run to it because of, the world of BBL right now. Everybody wants a Brazilian butt lift or a liposuction or something. But, with those things comes, consequences, health concerns. So it's a scary world. The fact that you can get cut and things can go left.
Oh, boy.
So this is a non-invasive aspect where there's no surgery needed. This is me physically, and it's very healthy because I'm detoxing your body.
Yeah.
Let's make it clear. It's a detox. You are melting fat down, and you are draining it through your lymphatic system. And if you don't know what that system is, just Google it, guys. Yes. But we all have lymphatic systems. And believe it or not, we need to drain them.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because it's like, oh, now I'm in my 30s. And I'm like, all these things that I didn't detox my body. It took me 30 years to figure out that.
If I could just be honest, 30s is not a long time. And in all the things that we've done in college, we absolutely need a 10-year detox. So.
But just think about how important it is to detox your body.
Yeah.
You take your car to get an oil change. Do you not?
You do.
And they clean out the oil and they change it. You don't think you need to detox your body? You don't think you need to get rid of that bad oil in your body or whatever toxin that is out of your body?
Sybil, you know what happens is I invite Sybil on my show and then she comes on here to read me for filth.
No. But
no, of course not. But
the treatments that I have are very healthy for you. Yeah. And in today's world, with the pandemic and COVID and everything, our immune systems are attacked more than ever right now.
Definitely.
So detoxing your body does boost your immune system. It helps you. And whether you want to lose weight or lose the fat or, transfer the fat into your butt and do a butt lift, whatever your reason is, it's another way, a healthier way to go about it. You do not have to go under the knife, ladies or gentlemen. You do not have to do that.
Yeah.
You can do it another way. There is another way.
That doesn't cost you your
So
life.
if you have any questions, I'm here.
Great. And we'll put all of her information in the description box. And we thank her so much for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me. I was like, yes, I finally made it to
Yes. And please, come back.
We got a lot to talk about. We got to get into it.
Yes, absolutely. All right, and we'll be right back. We're going to take him and we'll be right back. All right, so we are back. We are back, and we want to say thank you for Sybil Smith for stopping through and talking to us about Shy Bella Body, and I will put all of her links and all of her information down into the description box. She is also our Jet Beauty of the Week, so if you so happen to go on her Instagram, please follow her, like her, and we encourage you to buy something. That body butter keeps me warm and moisturized during the winter months and keeps me shining and glistening through the summer months. She's an array of things that she was talking about before. So we're so happy to have her. Thank you. We love you, Sybil. Can't wait for you to come back. And now it's time for a few announcements. So Black History Month is here. And so we want you to stay tuned and of course, keep your eyes peeled on our Instagram for any fun programming that we're going to be coming up with, any possible sales. And of course, you want to continue to like and subscribe Something Else Productions. We're available on Apple Podcasts. We're available on Spotify, Google Play. I always leave the Anchor link because the Anchor link kind of has all of the listed places that we are. So if there's a specific place that you like to join us, we'd love to have you there as well. The rating is really important. That's what allows us to keep the lights on when people like us. So please, by all means, give us a 5-star if you could, a 5-star rate and a comment under the podcast or Apple, underneath the Spotify or the Apple Podcast, that's what I meant to say, and as well as the Google Play or wherever else you listen to your podcast. And please, if you would be so kind as to join our mailing list, there's a lot of great stuff in there. You get newsletters, you get updates on sales, and we just like to chit and chat. And I try to open up the discussion forum also on the podcast as well, where we talk about. Last week I put up a poll, pretty much saying like, hey, what are some of the anxiety, what are some of the ways that you like release some of your anxieties? And this week will probably be, what are your favorite lotions? What's your favorite moisturizing routine if you have? And so, we're just interested, and we're just trying to keep it light, keep it up to date, and of course, keep everybody involved. And this brings me to my guilty pleasure. Now listen in. Everyone lean in. For many, 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 many years. Well, not many, many, many years. I would say since it came out. I don't know when that first album came out. But I wasn't really a fan of The Weeknd, right? Like, I wasn't that girl. I preferred Frank Ocean. And I liked Abel in theory, but he wasn't particularly my favorite. And it really boils down to I'm just not a fan of his voice. No shade to him, no shade to his music, as I'm going to get to in a second. It just wasn't for me. I understood it. I get it. It just wasn't my jam. But a lot of people, that was the discussion, which is interesting because in my opinion, Frank Ocean and The Weeknd make different types of music, but we can talk about that later. And to The Weeknd's credit, he wrote, like, if I'm not mistaken, like close to 98% of Drake's album Take Care, which is an almost perfect album. And it has so many jams on there and so many just lots of moods and songs that I still sing to this day. So I do find that Abel is talented, and you'll notice that I do not call him The Weeknd, but I definitely call him Abel. I don't know why. I like the name Abel. Maybe that's it. But on to my guilty pleasure. Abel put out Dawn FM. Now, the last album, I don't really remember. It just creeped me out. And there was just a lot to be seen and a lot going on there. But Dawn FM is also creepy. Let me just warn you now. But Dawn FM is an album about, when I read the description, it's basically an album of a person that has died, and this is the music that you're listening to when you're in this weird purgatory limbo phase before you go to wherever it is you're going. And this is the music that would be played in between then, which is a very simple, very morbid, but very cool concept. And I don't know if it's my obsession with 80s pop. I don't know if it's my obsession with 80s pop R&B. I don't know if it's the fact that I think it's funny that Jim Carrey is, my gosh, this phone like refuses to just let me alone. The fact that Jim Carrey is the narrator, and a very fun, surprising interview by Quincy. I don't know what it is. But Abel, sir, you put your entire drug paraphernalia into this album. You really did. There is an Alicia Myers sample. I think it's on Sacrifice. And it makes me so excited every time I hear it. Whoa. It just is so fire. Bum, 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 and every time it's like, those chords, that chord progression. Alicia Myers' I Want to Thank You is a timeless record. Immediately, you put that on for Blacks, and we're like, I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, shining your light on me. You know? A jam. And is it scary? Is it a little morbid? Is it a little bit dark? Yes, it's all of those things. Do I necessarily like the way The Weeknd sings? No, not particularly. Do I think The Weeknd is the second coming of Michael Jackson? I think that's a very far stretch. But this album is good. I'm having a good time. It makes me shake my rootin' tootin' bootin'. And days like these where every day is a little dance music goes a long way. And you know what? You know what else goes a long way? My love for you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming back and listening and tuning in. You know, I say all the time, I've been going for a minute now, back with Jump Off, one of my favorites. And I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your diligence and coming back to listen to this podcast where I ramble and talk about my opinions. And hopefully it touches you or touches somebody else in an appropriate and consensual way. And so with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. And I love you guys. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Thank God this isn't live, huh?